ating mga talino,
ganda,
at kabayan viewers.
welcome back to
kada,
nakaraan.
Bakit ito nangyari?
kasi nga ito ang dahilan.
11 days till Christmas.
Oo nga, malapit na ang mga bakasyon ng mga chikiting.
Kaso saglit lang din kasi back to school ulit.
Speaking of school,
Oh, bakit? Ano yun?
ang topic natin today ay history of the Philippines educational system.
Subject ko yan nung college eh.
Nabutan ko pa nga ng colonial period.
Ako nga, tinuturuan pa ako ng tatay ko magpatulis ng kahoy, panghuli ng isda.
So, ayun na nga kasi syempre, 'di ba, nasakop tayo. Pero before that, yung aim ng education natin, specifically ng primitive, is for survival and conformity lang.
Yeah, informal siya, unstructured, syempre less stable than the education we have today. Pero diba, meron na tayong concept na ng barangay code of Kalintaw, tsaka mga dato.
Tapos may mga small advancement din tulad ng rice terraces, tapos preserved mummies, tsaka rock carvings.
And it really shows na kahit na simple or let's say raw na paraan, ay may drive pa rin tayo na matuto for survival. Not for our own sake, but pero syempre para rin sa kabuhayan nating lahat nung time na yun.
Tama.
Tapos here comes the Spaniards, the Japanese, and the Americans.
Simula grade 1 pa lang yata, tinuturo na to eh.
Hello guys, Future Antonio here. During our pre-colonial or the primitive period, our writing system is known as baybayin. We were also focused on teaching practical knowledge and worship of Bathala and respect for laws and preservation of customs.
Nung sinakop tayo ng Espanya, I think we can all agree naman na ang daming nagbago sa Pilipinas.
Oo, sa language pangalan na gamit natin, di ba, impluensya na ng Espanya. Tapos yung culture natin, kuha rin sa kanila. Pati na rin yung religion na nagdo-dominate ngayon sa Pilipinas, Christianity.
Meron na rin levels, namely like elementary, secondary, tertiary, or higher education.
And from Spanish language naman, after ng Spanish-American War, nag-take over yung American, tapos English na yung primary language talaga natin. And yung free secular schools noon ay kailangan dapat English lang din, strictly yung language.
Hi guys, Future Zek here. Alam nyo ba na yung Royal Decree of 1555 ay nag-mandate ng following educational goals, which are indoctrination of Christianity, promotion of Spanish language, and imposition of Spanish culture. Ang kanilang mga method sa paggawa nito ay dictation, memorization, moro-moro, sinakulo, and other theatrical performances. Ang mga laman or content ng mga ito ay Christian doctrine, intro to parochial schools, severe discipline, Authoritarianism, and teachers dominated, which are mga friars.
Ang biggest promotion ng Americans noon ay yung democratic ideals nila and yung way of life nila.
Yes, pansin naman natin na nakukuha natin yung lifestyle ng Americans then and now. Tapos, after two colonizers, nagkaroon ng fresh breath of air yung Pilipinas dahil sa Commonwealth.
Yes. Kahit pa paano, no, nakaranas tayo that time ng independence ng Pilipinas. Pero, may nanakop na naman, the Japanese. Question of the day, no? Bakit na-adapt natin ang Spanish at English language, pero ang Japanese hindi natin nakuha? Miski isa, di ba? Tinry ng Japan na i-discourage ang English, pati yung paggamit ng Tagalog at Espanya, di ba? Yung i-implement ang Japanese, pero hindi pumapasok mga students nun.
Kaya pala ganun.
Ba't di-
nila ang mga bata sa bahay. Yung language na alam nila, yung kaya lang nilang ituro.
Oo, kaya yung mga parents kasi noon, di ba, worried sila. Napaka-delikado nung panahon ng Japanese. Tandaan nyo yung Death March, di ba? And hindi safe mag-enroll sa school noon.
Hi, ako ulit. So, isa pang fun fact ay the Educational Decree of 1863 created a free public education system in the Philippines that was run by the government. It was the first such education system in Asia. The decree mandated the establishment of at least one primary school for boys and one for girls in each town under the responsibility of the municipal government. So, ayun. Bye! So, after tayo masakop ng hapon, yung education during the Republic, we aim to fully establish democratic ideals and way of life.
Totoo, there's community development like yung conservation of Filipino heritage such as yung daily flag ceremony and yung pag-aaral ng births and life ni Jose Rizal.
Since then, madami nang nagbago sa education ng Pilipinas, katulad ng legal mandates, mga educational programs, and we don't have to conform to one language na.
Yes, and meron na din K-12. Para sa inyo ba, helpful ba ang pagdagdag ng 2 taon sa edukasyon?
Oo naman, magandang tulong din yun para sa experience natin at saka para ma-ready tayo sa college.
Parang kasing ano na rin siya, parang training ground in a way.
Hello, future Antonio Lit here. The K-12 program during the modern education system have 4 phases of implementation, mainly A. Laying the foundation, B. Modeling and migration, C. Complete migration, and D. Completion to the reform.
Pero sa hinaba-haba ng pinagdaanan ng bansa natin, kitang-kita mo pa rin yung mga bakas ng mga nanakop sa atin noon.
Sa language pa lang na ginagamit natin, malalaman mo agad anong bansa yung nag-colonize sa atin.
Yung effect ng history natin sa ating edukasyon is parang ambivalent.
Tsaka parang it's tone deaf din na sabihin na thankful ako kasi nasakop tayo noon kasi parang disrespectful siya sa mga paghihirap ng mga tao noon. Parang ang insensitive naman, di ba?
Tsaka, pangit naman na, tsaka sama, di ba, na burahin lang natin na bigla yung pinaghirapan ng mga ninuno natin para sa independence ng Pilipinas, para sa ating mga Pinoy, na meron tayo ngayon. So, we can say na our history has such a big impact on the education ng Pilipinas ngayon sa ating bansa, di ba?
Tapos, we don't have to label it positive impact or negative impact. But one thing is for sure, na yung impact is very heavy and major event na nag-approach and achieve sa present day lives natin.
And I think with that, we have to wrap up for today's episode.
So, thank you for watching and supporting us.
Our team hopes na may natutunan kayo at may maisabuhay kayo sa episode natin ngayon.
Be sure to subscribe and leave us feedback because we're here to help our fellow students grow.
And again, this is your favorite podcast.
Ba!
Kada!
Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday!
Merry
Merry
Christmas!
And happy holiday!